It's George Tyndall, and I'm back again, and I'm here to discuss some more stuff. Yeah, it took a few weeks, like about 3 weeks, because it takes a while of researching and doing things and going through things. Anyways, so we're going to get right into it, okay? We're going to get right into the theory that all the metal sank to the middle of the earth. Okay, scientists estimate there's about 48.5 tons of metric material that falls on the Earth each day. Silicate minerals and metallic iron in scattered grains. Okay, so we have that falling to the Earth every day. Okay, so if the dust from space is always falling on Earth, and it's got metal in it, all the Earth's metal could not have sank to the center to form the core. If that was the case, the dust, which has metal in it, would have had to have stopped falling. And we're forming the Earth, time out on the dust, and don't drop any of the metal. That makes absolutely no sense at all whatsoever. But this is what they put out there and what they teach people. Now, I found out there may be a thing such as metamorphic, homogenized, cosized meteorites. And that's a combination of things that would turn that thing into one of those. But this is a lot of stuff that you have to look up and you have to check. Okay, now I'm going to go to an example of why people are learning the wrong way. Okay, now we're going to go down here. We're going to go down here to the paper. Okay, when someone dies, and I'm going to show you this. We're going to show you the Wemer Heidelberg uncertainty principle. Okay, now, when I say that uncertainty, okay, the person that did that didn't know. That's why he put uncertainty. If he would have known, he would have put certain. Now, I'll show you why. Okay, when you get to a point right here, when someone dies, okay, they list it as undetermined if they do not know. Heidelberg uncertainty principle, when he got to a certain point, uncertainty came in. Because he wasn't sure. And out here, you do not know. After this, where it's undetermined or uncertainty, this area, you don't know. It's left open. It's left open for you to figure it out. That's why when someone dies and it's undetermined, if they think it's a homicide, they go back. Okay? Here, Heidelberg uncertainty principle. Okay, the guy was uncertain when he got to a certain point. But what happens? Nobody went back and checked. That's why they leave it open. It's for people to go back and check things. Now, people are going to call me stupid and dumb, but that's what it is, and that's the reality. If you list something, or you say something, or uncertainty principle. Okay, he wasn't sure. And that's why he did that. He did that in case he made a mistake so somebody could go back and check it. But nobody wants to go back and check these things. And that's fine. And because you don't go back and check the things, you just take a person's word for it, it doesn't mean you're going in the right direction with what you're learning. And I hope that some of this will click with somebody out there who actually has some brains. Now, other things that I found that makes no sense. Okay, I found out there it says it's absolutely impossible to achieve absolute zero. Okay, absolute impossible. You got people online and all sorts of different videos. It's absolute impossible. It's impossible to achieve absolute zero. And they say electrons don't stop moving at absolute zero. But yet everything can slow down. Okay. Then I read, physicists have created an atomic gas in the laboratory that has negative Kelvin values. The negative absolute temperatures have several absurd consequences. Okay. Now, if they were able to do it in the lab, negative Kelvin values, that's below absolute zero. And you got people out there that are saying you can't reach absolute zero, and you got scientists saying they can do it in the laboratory. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, I take everything into consideration. When I'm doing my research, I take everything into consideration. I take the impossible can happen into consideration. But there's a lot of stuff here that doesn't make any sense. Now, you got people out there on videos, they're saying that, well, electrons won't stop moving at absolute zero, and then you got people out there saying, well, absolute zero can't be achieved. Okay, so if that is the case and absolute zero can't be achieved, how do you know that electrons don't stop moving at absolute zero or below absolute zero? How could you make statements like that? Now, a lot of this out there, everything contradicts everything. What everybody's saying. Now, I'm on to some stuff because I've found this stuff out by digging and pulling up terms that nobody ever really uses anymore because people just forgot about them. One is the Bose Einstein condensate. Bose Einstein condensate. Okay. At such temperatures, there is insufficient energy for particles to move into positions that might cause their distinct quantum characteristics to interfere with one another. And this is the point that I'm trying to get across to people, what I've been coming up with and finding. Because I found some of this stuff and I can examine it and I can see it. And I can see it, and a lot of it's totally bizarre. Now, 1833 meteorites. They are made out of metallic glass. And it has to do with temperatures and it has to do with pressures. Now, how it came to be that, I'm not the expert, so I can't figure this stuff out. And it's frustrating. But bear with me. Okay, the 1833 meteorites are weak magnetically because they're made out of metallic glass. The metal is hard to shine. Some of it has black metal in the stone. Metals and minerals morph and fuse together. Now, there's a certain thing out there, I can't remember what the name of it is, but when certain temperatures are reached either one way or another, things can become one. Everything can become one. The crust on the rock, the metals, the minerals, they can all become one. Anything that is inside can become one. And there's a way to do it. Some have metal fractures inside, can have fusion crust, a black burned gloss coating, a glossy coating, or a metal coating. Can be completely smooth, can be rough on the outside depending on the composition, can be many different colors. Can be blue, gray, black, green, red, tan, white. And I'll explain that. And the majority that I'm cutting open, they're coming up as camosite. Okay, we don't have camosite rocks on Earth. Now, why do I say different colors? Okay, why do I say different colors and things? Okay, because everything can join as one. Here's three different photographs from different angles of this. This is a solid piece of metal in rock form. Now, how this was achieved, it has to do with temperatures and pressures and chemical reactions. I have some ideas, but I'm not going to say, because if I don't know for sure, it makes me look stupid. And I'm not going to say uncertainty like a lot of other people out there. Or, I believe it's this way. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell people the truth of what I know. Now, why do I say that everything can become one? Because in a lot of these, everything did become one. These are solid pieces of metal, okay? But everything became one. The outside, which would have been, this is smooth fusion crust like this one. But this one is all black, all the way around, okay? It's been burned. It's heavy. It's a solid piece of metal. If I clean this off, I clean that off, I get this. Okay. But why is it still in rock form? That has to do with temperatures and pressures. They weren't able to alter it. A lot of this stuff on here, burned on one side, but you can see it, and it's partially burnt, okay? Well, these are more. That's more burned. This one's almost burned all the way, but you can still see where it looks like it's a green rock, but it's actually metal, because the oxides, the crusts, the metals, the minerals, and whatever else is inside the rock that came through became one. They all joined. And I will show you this. And yes, this is what you would call a meteorite or a metal rock. This is metallic glass. This one right here shines. It shines like glass when you get it wet. Now, why is the outside of the rock, why does it look like rock? Because the outside, the colors, the shapes, everything became one. Just like these two here. Okay? This is metal. We're going to go over here. This is metal. Okay? But this stuff right here, this white stuff, I'm not sure what it is. It joined together with the metal. All these shapes, all these indentations and stuff, they stayed the same, and it has to do with temperatures and pressures. If you have enough pressure and you have enough of the right temperatures and the super fast cooling, a whole rock can come through like that and have enough pressure on it to hold it together and not break up and fall apart. Now, this one's kind of bizarre, because whatever this gray stuff is here that melted in, I'm almost thinking that it's the outer shell of the rock. Okay. This would normally be a rock in space, but if it was converted, and that's why you see this. This is solid metal underneath. This outer part you can't tear off is just as hard as metal. is just as hard as metal because it all became one. The outer crust, which would have been the fusion crust, it, what do you want to call it, bonded or whatever? They all came together and they all became one. That's why the insides are the same way too. That's why when I cut them open, they look like rocks, because everything became one. The colors became one, the shapes, the metals, the minerals, even the outer fusion crust. Now, because I found this stuff, I have a good idea on how the Earth was actually made. And I don't think it was made in any way that anybody's thinking about. And it's from other stuff that I've been finding out too. And I think I'm going to do that in my next video. Because, you know, nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to take me seriously on any of the stuff I'm finding. But I'm showing you. I'm showing you the stuff. Okay, there's nothing more I can... excuse me. There's nothing more that I can do other than show people what I have. And then people can pass their own judgment and everything. But I am serious about when people say undetermined, uncertainty, not sure. Okay, they're leaving it open there because they're not sure. And if they're not sure, somebody needs to go back and check their work to make sure that they're right. Don't just, well, I believe you because you said it. There might be something else there that he didn't see or he could have missed. Okay? And it doesn't make him a retard. But what's retard is when people don't go back and they don't research and check this stuff out. And if what I'm finding is true, there's a lot of stuff that is wrong. But people don't want to listen. And you know what? And they don't have to. But I'm still going to keep making my videos because eventually I think somebody's going to come out and somebody's going to figure this stuff out when they start looking a lot of this stuff up that I'm talking about. When you look it up, it makes no sense. And I guess we'll call that good. I kind of have an idea, and I'm going to call myself a dummy, okay? So I don't end up taking out and everybody thinks I'm just insulting everybody else. I am the dummy, okay? And there's a reason why aliens, they either crash on this planet or they don't come to see us, is because there really isn't any signs of intelligent life on this planet. And they know it. When people learn the way they're doing and do things the way they're doing and they just guess or assume that somebody's right, it makes you stupid and look like an idiot. Because just because a person says it doesn't mean it is correct or it is right. And I'm gonna leave it at that. But like I said, I'm gonna keep making my videos because I think there's a lot that people can learn. And I think people would find my theory in my next video really interesting on how the Earth was created. I have a good idea, but it's going to take a little bit of time, and I'm going to have to put everything together. But I have a good idea how it was done, and I don't even believe it was done the Big Bang. I find that theory totally stupid too, and it is a theory. So when something is a theory, they're also not sure. Anyways, we'll call that one good, and everybody have a lovely day.